Welcome back to the Daily Fix. 4:30 in the afternoon, getting used to this new afternoon show, 4 till 7 p.m. every day. Now, right now, we've got the time of the day where we have Lea in. Lea Stening from Lea Stening Health. Morning, Lea.
Nice to see you.
How's it going?
Oh, good.
Good, good. So every Monday, we're going to have Lea in and she's going to answer your burning nutrition questions. Now, Lea, you're a dietitian, not a nutritionist. What's the difference?
Oh, it's quite a big one, really. There's quite a lot of difference in our training, for one thing. I mean, these days everybody's saying something about nutrition. Let's face it, there's so much noise out there.
So many questions.
The differences between our training in that we start out with doing a degree in nutrition. So that's where dietitians and nutritionists are the same.
Right.
And that allows you then to talk about general nutrition.
Yes.
But then the difference between them and a dietitian is a dietitian goes on and does postgraduate studies and now does a master in dietetics. And so that goes on to doing more clinical nutrition, applied nutrition. They spend time in hospitals learning about how to apply nutrition to disease states. People who had surgery, resections of their gut, things like that. They may have cancer or respiratory problems. So most dietitians do all that training, and then they also go on and specialise. In my case, I went on to paediatrics and sport.
Okay.
But a lot of dietitians go on and do cardiovascular and things like that. So
right, and you do a lot of family health and all that kind of stuff as well.
I see children, exactly.
Now, you said something interesting to me the other day. You've changed the way that you work.
Sure.
So rather than people coming in for an appointment with you, what do?
Well, they go online, which is exciting. This has really happened since the earthquakes, and that we found with all this uproar in the city and how hard it is for people to get around the traffic, we decided to go online. And it happened anyway before the earthquake. We were getting quite a lot of people doing that.
How do you mean online?
Well, what happens is they usually phone me or send me an email, and then I make a connection with them through Skype.
Right.
And we talk online.
So you do your whole appointment on Skype?
We do, and it's really easy. People do an assessment with me first of all, so I can see the difference between what they're eating, what they need to be eating, and we look at things, we listen to everything that they need to be doing. We look at their clinical side of things, we look at any health issues, and then we go on and provide them a program that's going to help to fill in the gap between what they're needing and what they're actually eating. So that's what's really important. So it's totally legit and it's very healthy. Because I think when you're giving advice, and I just like to say this because at the moment there's so much noise out there about nutrition, I think people are getting a wee bit fed up with it, to be honest. I think it's coming from the fact that people these days have got a lot of research about nutrition. I think that things are coming out all the time, and I mean, life changes, technology changes, nutrition changes. People out there in the social media now, they're taking photos of their food, and they're interested in food.
Blogs,
we love food, we want to enjoy it, and no dietitian ever wants to change that. But also we're going onto the internet more, and so there's a lot more self-diagnosing going on. And alongside that, we've got more people giving an opinion about what is right about nutrition.
But maybe not necessarily qualified to do so?
No, and you've got to, and that's the risk. I mean, it's a big responsibility to take somebody's diet in your hands and then manipulate it, because that's the main source of our nutrition. That's where we get our food to make our bodies grow, and but particularly with children, you know, it's really important that the information you give to people is practical and trustworthy and safe and flexible enough to meet your needs for being out there. So they can
actually do it. Now, here's a question for you then. You mentioned all the news all the noise to do with nutrition, and it's so true. Like, you know, everyone's going on these 6-week crash diets, juicing diets, eating only kale or paleo diets, whatever they're doing. What's your personal health philosophy? What are you trying to convey to your clients is a healthy way to eat?
Well, I think we've got to realise we're human. You know? We are human. No matter what you say about the type of diet you're on, you need a certain amount of energy to get through your day, and more importantly, you need to learn how to leverage it.
You're right.
So if you decide to be baseline, just day-to-day slob out and do nothing, you need completely different level of energy to what you'd need if you're training or in competition, or you're going to the gym, or you're working day and night, or you're getting up to a baby in the middle of the night, or you're trying to work night shift. You know, people out there have got incredibly busy lives, and they've got to have enough nutrition to meet that need. So we're not just talking about energy, we're talking about nutrients to replenish their body. So that's where it comes in with taking out stuff, you know. You start taking out nutrients out of your diet, you could miss key things.
Right.
And I guess that's why self-diagnosis is such a difficult thing, because even though people are tempted to do it because they've read on the internet that it's going to help them, and they actually may feel better.
Yes.
But the difficulty is, unless you go and actually see somebody and have it checked out properly, there is a chance that you'll become nutrient deficient, or you may miss something that is much really going on that is could really endanger your health. So
Right.
go
Absolutely.
to your GP, you know,
Yes.
go to your GP, find out exactly what's going on, get a blood test, have a biopsy of your gut if it turns out that you're needing to remove gluten or things like that from your diet. And get a proper diagnosis first. That would be
Absolutely.
relevant.
Well, on that, so many people are going gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, everything. What do you think of that then, if people are self-diagnosing, especially the gluten-free one?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people are saying, I've heard it personally, is that, you know, there's some that are just intolerant and it makes them feel sick.
Yeah.
But there's others that are like, oh, I just feel really good after going without gluten. If they're eating a lot of other grains or sort of compensating for that, can that be just as bad?
I think it's really important to first of all find out, are you a celiac?
Yeah.
That's the key. Because a celiac diet is very different from a gluten-free diet in that it's
Right.
much more specialised, and it's very important that you actually do it correctly. That's
Right.
why a lot of people who have got celiac disease don't go to restaurants,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
because they're too frightened to.
Yeah.
It's just taking a bit of, crouton off a Caesar salad doesn't
Yeah.
make it gluten-free because you're leaving traces of wheat behind. So, you know,
And that can be really dangerous
it
for,
can be.
for those
So
people.
I think we need to first of all make sure that you get a clear diagnosis about what's going on.
Yeah.
You see your doctor and have that done. Then once you've decided that, or he's decided that, or she has decided that you need to take things out of your diet, do it then.
Yeah.
But you also need to recognise that although you may feel better by being on a gluten-free diet, it's got to be done in a safe way. So yes, what
Right.
you said, replace the grains, learn where the gaps are, not only in your carbohydrate, but
Yeah.
all these other nutrients, make sure that's safe. And that's what dietitians do.
Right.
We make sure it's safe and healthy.
Absolutely. Now, I had a couple questions
great.
being sent through, and one of them was on that. Now,
Okay.
a girl called Izzy,
Yeah.
she says that she's feeling bloated all the time.
Yes.
Whenever she eats gluten, she feels terribly bloated.
Okay.
And so she's actually gone to the right person. She wanted to ask you before she
Yes.
goes gluten-free. Is gluten-free going to solve that problem?
It
or-
may not. There's basically three categories that come into this. You may be celiac and definitely have to be gluten-free, in which she needs to go and check that out. And
Right, yeah.
she needs to be eating gluten while she's having the biopsy tests and the antibody
Right.
tests. The second way is that there are people who are non-celiac but are gluten intolerant, and gluten-free may not be the only answer because there are things now called FODMAPs, which you've probably heard about, where there's fermentable carbohydrates that have to be removed. So there are different diets for this. Irritable bowel syndrome is not necessarily that you have to be completely gluten-free. There are, other alternatives being looked at the moment. And then there's the third category of people who just go gluten-free because they think it's healthier and they think they'll lose weight.
Right.
And in both cases, there's been research to show that you can achieve weight loss and you can also be a lot healthier not being gluten-free. Because gluten-free diets can be very nutrient deficient.
Right.
So I think another thing we should talk about today, because
Yeah.
I think we're kicking off this program, is to say that, being well is not just about diet and exercise.
Yeah.
And I'd like to sort of see some of the movement go back away from talking so much about what we should cut out and talk more, well, hang on, what does being healthy mean to people?
Yes.
Isn't it about feeling belonging to people? Isn't it having friends and family and feeling connected and valued and loved and safe and secure? Aren't all those things equally important? And I
Right.
think we need to put that back into the debate about food.
It's probably a really good point, isn't it? You could be the healthiest person on earth, but also the most miserable.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we have to make sure that when we provide a dietary program for people, that the food is not only safe and healthy, but it's flexible, but psychologically it meets your needs of comfort and feeling involved with family. I mean, if you're having a celebration, who the hell wants to go out and say, I can't eat this?
No,
I've
that's
got to
sad,
have a
isn't it?
special diet. Now, there's many people who are like that,
Yes.
who genuinely have to be.
Yeah.
But why would you impose that on somebody who doesn't have to have that? You need to check
Yeah.
it out properly first, and I mean professionally check it out,
Yes.
find out what's going on and get to the heart of it.
That's a really good
Then life can
point.
be more fun, and we're here to have fun, and we've got to have energy to go out and have fun. And
Absolutely.
cutting out food out of your diet all the time, there's no energy to get on and do.
All right. Now, can I throw another question to you?
Okay.
This one just had sent in from someone, a guy called Dave, and he said, look, he's got a friend's wedding coming up.
Yeah.
He's a bit overweight and he wants to lose weight quick. He said, what's the best way to do that? I'm sure you've had this question a lot.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing you should do really is write down what he's eating.
Right.
Because that whole exercise of actually getting it out there, seeing for a week.
Actually, that would be quite frightening, wouldn't it?
Can be.
What actually have I eaten today?
It doesn't have to recognise it doesn't just come down to calorie counting though, because we know there's a lot of other things that make people lose weight besides calories in and out.
Yes.
But that's another story. I think the important thing is to look at things like hydration.
Right.
Is he actually drinking, and what is he drinking?
Yeah.
If it's a pile of soft drink and carbonated drinks, there's a good likelihood he's taking a lot more calories.
Right.
And also
and
also a lot more gas. So that could be the problem for the lady with the wind as well.
Right.
Because if bubbles go in, they've got to come out somewhere.
Right.
Burping or farting
Feeling
or something.
bloated.
Got to go somewhere. So he needs to look at his fluids. He needs to look at his food intake. He needs to look at his exercise and whether he's actually managing to put that in. And he should up those.
Right.
Up the fluids, up the exercise. Maybe look at what he's drinking in terms of how much alcohol versus milk and water.
So does drinking lots of water help you lose weight?
Well, absolutely. It's delivering energy all around your body. So if you're feeling tired and you're not getting the energy out there, half the reason is because you're dehydrated,
Wow.
And the fluid's got to bring
Didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. So, the fluid's got to bring back all the toxins from around your body so you can get rid of it. So absolutely, fluid balance is hugely important. And even in winter, when we're here in New Zealand, we're sitting on heaters and and amongst heat pumps.
Right, and it's very drying, isn't it?
Very drying, and touching your skin and everything. So, he needs to look at his fluids.
Okay.
And also needs to look at some of the reasons why he's overweight and what are the people, has he got a good support unit of people around him? So even before he looks at his diet, he needs to look at his environment.
Right.
Is his record showing that he's spending a lot of time out for lunches or business lunches?
Right.
Does he have a few beers after the match when he goes and plays rugby and or whatever he's doing?
All that kind of thing. So it sounds like it's not so much about a quick weight loss, is it? This is probably more looking at his lifestyle.
He could lose weight quite quickly if he did the right things. But you see, it's not a matter of just plunging in there and shoving on a weight loss diet. It's finding out where the gaps are, because his body, like I said at the very beginning, he's still a human. He's still got to have needs met every day. And it is possible to meet those nutrient needs without popping a pill and have proper food and still achieve weight loss. And most people say that once they eat properly, they've never eaten so much food, and they wonder where the hell are they going to put it all. And
that's funny. Yeah,
cool.
That's a really good point, because a lot of people maybe feel like they're going to have to cut back on what they're eating, and that doesn't sound fun. I'm going to have to starve myself all the time. I actually, I think I read something recently, and you'll be able to tell me if this is true or not. These girls often will skip breakfast just to try and lose a little bit of weight, don't eat in the mornings. Is that actually, does that make you store weight?
Well, the more you don't eat, the more you slow down. So therefore you're too tired to actually go up and do anything. The other point I want to make is I think we really have to get an emphasis back on real food. We need to teach people how to cook. Jimmy Oliver's doing a lot of this now with gardening and getting kids into gardening in schools. I mean, there's some wonderful things going on around the world with him. And I think we want to talk about that at some stage. But I think it's important that we get back to actually teaching children and young people and people who are living on their own how to cook a meal from base, so that it's quick and fun and attractive and it's cheaper, and they're saving a lot of money by doing that. But also, why take supplements? What's real about a supplement? Everyone's interested in real food, clean food. What's clean about a pill? And what are we teaching our children if we say that the good nutrition comes out of a bottle other than a bottle of milk?
That's a good point. A bottle of milk. Oh, we should talk about that sometime. Absolutely. Now, if people have got questions for you, they can send them to the Daily Fix Facebook page, Daily Fix NZ. But if they want to come to you personally, how do they do that?
They just go on. I suggest first of all they look at my website, leastening.com, because that's got a lot of articles. We put out articles in every month as newsletters. So go there first, and then if you like what you see and you want to work with me online, that's fine. Just send me an email and happy to help. That's really easy. Cool. Thanks so much, Lee. And we will have you back in again next week. So if you've got any burning questions for Lee, this is free advice, guys. Free advice. So send them into the Daily Fix Facebook page and we'll ask them next week. We better go, but up next we're going to be talking about action cameras, GoPros, all those cool footage, the stuff that makes that great footage that you see online, really cool action stuff. We're going to be talking about that next on the Daily Fix.